I ask brothers just to pick up everything that is on the floor, from the drinking waters and the containers and the plastic bags. Please, it's a center that belongs to Imam Al-Hussein salamullah alayhi, to Ahl al-Bayt. So let's keep this center clean. Anything that's on the floor, from the teacups and the teapots and the containers, please pick them up. One last request before the lecture begins. I ask all the brothers to come forward. Come a little bit closer. Come closer. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Closer, brothers. Closer, brothers. That's why we climbed the mountain for you. So come closer a little bit. And whoever comes from our side, come to the front. Come to the front, brothers. صل على محمد وآل محمد. صل على أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد سيد المرسلين وخاتم النبيين وحجة رب العالمين، المنتجب في الميثاق، المصطفى في الضلال، المطهر من كل آفة، البريء من كل عيب، المؤمل للنجاة، المرتجى للشفاعة، المفوض إليه دين الله. ثم أفضل الصلاة وأزكى السلام على حبيبه وابن عمه أمير المؤمنين وقائد الغر المحجلين، أسد الله الغالب علي بن أبي طالب. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى أخته العقيلة زينب وأخيه أبا الفضل العباس ورحمة الله وبركاته. قال الله العظيم في محكم كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: ومن الناس من يشري نفسه ابتغاء مرضات الله والله رؤوف بالعباد. آمنا بالله. صدق الله العلي العظيم. For the history and appearance of Imam, صاحب العصر والزمان، أرواحنا وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء، الله الصلوات. For your well-being and the well-being of your family, allow those salawat. عظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصاب سيدنا أمير المؤمنين ويعصوب الدين علي بن أبي طالب. اللهم صل على And of the people is he who sells himself, seeking means to the approval of Allah, and Allah is kind to his servants. Tonight is the night of Ali. Tonight is the night of Amir al-Mu'mineen, a true leader that can lead the Muslim Ummah must be a divine decree, chosen by Allah the Almighty. Allah alone chooses the prophets and the Imams. Man has no say in this regard. Allah knows who is better to choose the people. To choose a leader is a task that only is assigned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A man like Ali, a giant, larger than life itself, a legend, the true believer of Allah the Almighty, the first Muslim, the conqueror of Khaybar, the killer of Marhab, the warrior of Allah, the warrior of Rasulullah, the lion, the commander of the faithful, the father of Imams, the first Imam, the master, the most honest, the most wise, the most pious. Al-Quran al-Natiq, the embodiment of Quran al-Kareem, the incarnation of Salah, the embodiment of Sawm, the embodiment of the faith. Amir al-Mu'mineen wa Ya'sub al-Din, Azhad al-Nas wa Atqa al-Nas. That he was a unique father, a unique son, a unique husband, a unique Imam. In generosity, he's unmatched. In generosity, he's unmatched. In kindness, he's unmatched. In bravery, he's unmatched. If you look throughout the books that mention his virtues, you cannot put him in one book. You cannot talk about him in one lecture. You can't. It's not enough. The Prophet ﷺ himself said that if man and the jinn, they combine forces and Allah turns all the trees in the world into paper, and He turns all the seas into ink, for man and the jinn combine forces to write the virtues of Ali, they cannot do that. Dua al-Nutbah, the one that we recite every Friday, shows us a glimpse of what this man was, who this man was. A unique character, I tell you. A unique personality, I tell you. That whatever you see of a virtue, Ali had it. And not only had it, he had the best of it. And he showed to mankind what that virtue actually means. You know what that means? That means when we talk about piety, alongside with piety, you put Ali. And then you give the word piety a meaning, not the other way around. You don't give Ali a meaning, a virtue. No, he gives the virtues the honor of his presence. That is really hard to do. A character that the world never came across. He gave everything he had for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In Dua al-Nutbah, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam says, فَلَمَّا انْقَضَتْ أَيَّامَهُ وَقَامَ وَلِيُّهُ عَلِيُّ بْنُ أَبِي طَالِبٍ صلوات الله عليهما وعلى آلهما هاديا إذ كان هو المنذر ولكل قوم هاد فقال والملأ أمامه من كنت مولاه فهذا علي مولاه
اللهم وال من والاه وعادي من عاداه وانصر من نصره واخذل من خذله. وقال من كنت نبيه فعلي أميره. Whoever I am their prophet, Ali is their master. So if you don't believe in the Imam of Amir al-Mu'mineen, you don't believe in the prophecy of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. وقال أنا وعلي من شجرة واحدة وسائر الناس من شجر شتى. Me and Ali, we are from one tree, and the rest of the people are from another tree. وَحَلَّهُ مَحَلَّ هَارُونَ مِن مُوسَى. Oh Ali, you are to me like Harun. Aaron was to Moses, to Musa ibn Imran. Is that all? Are we finished? No, we just started. And then he says, وَزَوَّجَ ابْنَتَهُ سَيِّدَةَ نِسَاءِ الْعَالَمِينَ. And then he married him his daughter Fatima. He gave him his daughter Fatima to Zahra. وَأَحَلَّ لَهُ مِن مَسْجِدِهِ مَا حَلَّ لَهُ وَسَدَّ الْأَبْوَابَ إِلَّا بَابَهُ ثُمَّ أَوْدَعَهُ عِلْمَهُ وَحِكْمَتَهُ فقال أنا مدينة العلم وعلي بابها فمن أراد المدينة والحكمة فليأتها من بابها. You want the knowledge of Rasulullah, you must enter through the gate. And who is the holder of that gate? It's Ali. فقال أنا مدينة العلم وعلي بابها فمن أراد الحكمة والعلم فليأتها من بابها. ثم قال أنت أخي ووصيي وخليفتي ووارثي لحمك من لحمي ودمك من دمي وسلمك من سلمي وحربك حربي والإيمان مخالط لحمك ودمك كما خالط لحمي ودمي وأنت غدا على الحوض خليفتي. You are the one who stands next to the حوض, and you are the one who is قسيم الجنة والنار. You decide who goes to paradise and who goes to hellfire. قسيم الجنة والنار. You are Ali. وشيعتك على منابر من نور. You, Shia. The Prophet is saying here, وشيعتك على منابر من نور مبيضة وجوههم حولي في الجنة وهم جيراني. Oh Ali, your Shia, they are in heaven sitting on the pulpits and their faces illuminating dark. Your faces illuminating lights from your their faces, bright, shining. Your Shia, your followers, your companions, your people. Now the question here arises, that is Ali. Who are we? Ali, Amir al-Mu'mineen, said, فُزْتُ وَرَبِّ الْكَعْبَةِ. Ali, Amir al-Mu'mineen, you can see that he gave everything he had for the God, the Almighty. He made his own future. Today, when you talk about Ali, you praise Ali. That is Amir al-Mu'mineen, our Imam. But who are we? That is the question. Who are we? Are we really Shia? Are we really believers of Ali? Are we really the followers of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib? Are we? Are we? Because sometimes you come and cross people just saying, my name is such, so I am one of his followers. I say I am a Shia and that is enough. A person who says I'm a Shia and he doesn't practice what Ali preached is not a Shia. Who was a true Shia? Kumail ibn Ziyad, the narrator of the dua, Kumail. Kumail was a true Shia. Maytham al-Tammar was a true Shia. Maytham al-Tammar, for the crime of spreading the virtues of Amir al-Mu'mineen, he was crucified. He was crucified, Maytham. Are we close to anything to what Maytham did or Kumail did? Hujr ibn Uday, or Hajr ibn Uday also, this man, when he was offered safety passage by the soldiers of Muawiyah, just to curse Ali. They said to him, curse Ali and you have safe passage to go. He refused. And for that, he was decapitated, killed. His son also was killed. His companions were killed. Those are Shia. If these people, Maytham al-Tammar is a Shia, Kumail ibn Ziyad is a Shia, Hujr ibn Uday is a Shia. And who was the first one to be martyred for the wilayah of Amir al-Mu'mineen? Who was the first to give her life for Ali and the wilayah of Ali? Fatima al-Zahra salamullahi alayha, Sayyid Nisa al-Alameen. She gave her life for Ali ibn Abi Talib because Ali was her Imam. Those are the real Shia. Those are the real people that we have to look up to them. We say we are Shia, but we don't practice what he preached. When you look at the books of the Hadith, you find there are many traditions that talk about the virtues or the descriptions or the sifat of the Shia. There are many. 5, sometimes there are 5 signs of the Shia, sometimes 3, sometimes 40. I mentioned some of them tonight, and you make your own decision. Do you want to follow this path or not? To be the Shia that the Prophet ﷺ says, وَشِيعَتُكَ عَلَى مَنَابِرَ مِن نُور. Your Shia will be sitting alongside me, or Ali. And their faces will be illuminating, lights coming, shining out of their faces, O Ali. So what are these characteristics that a person must follow? This instruction manual, if you will, these guidelines. When you go to university, they tell you, if you want to graduate, to obtain your master's, or you want to obtain your degree, or whatever it is, you have to attend the classes, you have to do the work, 3 years, 4 years, until you obtain that. For becoming a Shia, you don't think there is something that there is a guideline? Of course there is. To be worthy of the title, it doesn't just come. Not just for you to be born in a family that is a Shia, you are Shia. It doesn't work like that. Practice what he told you to do and what he did himself. When you look at the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen, you find him to be practicing everything that he commands his followers to do, to practice it as well. He's not one of those leaders that you find sitting in their castles and just pointing out where to go, where to attack. No, you find him to be in the front line all the time. So what is the first one? Taqwa, piety. First one is piety. In letter 45, Nahjul Balagha, the Imam alayhi afdalus salatu was salam writes a letter to Uthman bin Hunayf al-Ansari, and he says to him, Ala wa inna li kulli ma'mumin imama yaqtadi bih wa yastadhi'u bi nurih. For every follower, there is a person that he follows. So you say, I'm a Ja'fari, I'm a Ithna Ashari. Who's your Imam? Who's your leader? Ali. Who's your leader? Hassan, Hussein. You have Imams. The Imam here says, ألا وإن لكل مأموما إماما يقتدي به ويستضيء من نوره. The Imam is a guidance and the Imam is a light. Light for what? Light for these dark alleys of life. We go through life, we need someone to instruct us, to teach us where we're going. Yes or no? If you want to go from one point to another, from one area, suburb to another, if you want to go to the CBD, you want to go to the city, you put the address on your GPS because you need the GPS to guide you. So who is the one to guide us, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen? The ones that are worthy to guide. We recite in Surah Al-Fatiha, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Guide us to the right path. Yes? صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. Which صراط? صراط is what? The path. And by which path we want? The ones that don't know themselves or what they're doing? Or صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. You appointed them to be our leaders. ألا وإن إمامكم قد اكتفى من دنياه بطمريه ومن طعمه بقرصيه. ألا وإنكم لا تقدرون على ذلك ولكن أعينوني بورع واجتهاد وعفة وسداد فوالله ما كنزت من دنياكم تبرا ولا ادخرت من غنائمها وفرا ولا أعددت لبالي ثوبي طمرا. Imam says that I took from your life, this world of yours, one shabby clothes and 2 loaves of bread, and that was it. I did not take any other things. When I say this, understand who Ali was. Ali at the time, Amir al-Mu'mineen, was the king of kings. He was the governor, the caliph, the king of 50 countries. 50 countries. And he says to his governor, Uthman, I only have from this world 1 shabby cloth and 2 loaves of bread, and that is it. When Amir al-Mu'mineen arrived in Kufa, they said to him, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, do you want to go to the castle? Well, every predecessor before you went into, every king, every caliph residing into it, every governor. The Imam said, why? Why do I need to go there? No, I don't want any of that. He stood with his hands, he built for himself 1-bedroom house, very, very humble house from mud, next to the mosque. Why next to the mosque? So he's not going to be out of reach. Whoever wants to talk to him from his subjects, they can come and talk with him without anyone in between, a secretary or a soldier or a governor. No, straight come to Ali and speak with Ali. Do you find any leader today like that? Your local MP, you have to call their office, book an appointment, few weeks, months, God knows when you can see the local MP. And I'm telling you, the emperor, the king of the kings, 50 countries under his fingertips. And he builds himself a humble house next to the mosque that you have any time you want to come and see me, you have all the right to see me. This was Ali. So what does he say? He says, I know you can't live a life like that. 1 piece of cloth, couple of loaves of bread. No, I know you can't. He made it easy for me and you. You might say, yes, I can. He said, no, don't worry. Stop right there. I know you can't do that. But I want you to be with me في ورع واجتهاد وعفة وسداد. Help me with your piety. Be God-fearing. When you say that you are Shia, practice that as I am practicing this. I'm not asking you to eat one loaf of bread and that is it. Your diet should be that, because I know you can't. I know you can't just wear one piece of cloth. I know you can't. وإنما هي نفسي أروضها بالتقوى لتأتي آمن يوم الخوف الأكبر. I teach my nafs taqwa. I teach my nafs to be God-fearing, not only from haram, even when they brought him halal food. You heard a couple of nights ago, I mentioned Kulthum, his daughter brought to him for the iftar one loaf of bread, some salt and milk. He looks into the iftar and he says to her, when did you see me having that much food? 2 types of food is enough for me. Take one of them away. She came to take the salt. He said, no, take the milk away. That night, the night of his assassination, the Imam ate a couple of bites of that bread and that salt. And he knows, he says to you, I know you cannot practice that. I know you're not up for it, but help me in taqwa. That is the first one. Even if you look at the other hadith of the Ahlul Bayt, they said the Shia, the follower of Ali, they have to be the most pious people. The most pious. And then the Imam Ali Afdalus Salati was Salam, he was the most forgiving man. We are in the nights of Qadr. A person comes and says to you, brother, forgive me for what have I done to you. Or she comes and she asks forgiveness. Sometimes, I don't know why it is. It might be pride, ego, that we say, no. As if this person killed one of our family members. Your Imam, Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib, was the most forgiving man. His followers, the most forgiving people. Also, the Shia, they have to practice that. When a person comes to you asking your forgiveness, you should say that, brother, I forgave you that time, that moment. You don't have to come now to ask me for this. And we are in the nights of Qadr. And the Imam, Amir al-Mu'mineen, don't you think Imam was living a life that was all comfort and he lived the best of the lives? The Imam was struck by calamity after calamity. Tragedy after tragedy. But he was the most forgiving man. With his power, he was the most forgiving man. The story narrates that one day he was walking in the streets of Kufa in a hot weather. He used to do this all the time, by himself, no entourage, no one to protect him. One day Qambar came, and he followed the Imam and he had his hand on the sword. The Imam looked at him and he said, Qambar, what are you doing? He said, I'm here protecting you. He said, from who? From who? Go back, go back. By himself, no entourage. If you see the presidents today, the prime ministers today, entourage. Secret service. Oh, where does he go? Where does he come? The Imam, the emperor, the king of the kings, no entourage, by himself. He walks in the streets. Why? So he can see if there is an orphan that needs his help, a poor person, a needy person that needs his help. He can assist them. He saw this servant lady sitting down in the corner of the street crying. And the Imam approached her and he said to her, what's going on? Why are you crying? Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I don't know if we have to stop midway and ask the brothers to come back inside. It's not break time. And the kids in the back, please, the parents, take care of them. We're talking about the Imam tonight. If you don't have respect to me, have some respect for the Imam. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi afdalus salati wassalam. And I get really annoyed from this.
Because you are in a holy place and you listening to the virtues of the Imam. Some respect to the Imam, and teach our children to have some respect to the Imam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Why are you crying, O servant of Allah? He approached her himself, asked her himself, asked to assist her himself. Well, I'm a servant in this house and my master gave me 1 dirham to go to the market to buy some dates. I went to the market, I bought the dates and I took it to my master. He looked at them and he said, this is not good, take it back. I went back to the market to give back the date to the person who was selling them, the date seller, the shop owner. He refused to take them back. No return policy. No, he refused. And I'm afraid for my master. I don't know what to do. Do I go back? I know he will punish me for this. The Imam said to her, come with me. We go to the market together. Thank you, Amir al-Mu'mineen. She knows this is Ali. Thank you. And he took her to the market. He went to that man and he said to him, brother, this is a da'ifa woman. She's weak. She has a master. And she came to buy some dates from you. You refused to take it back because the master didn't want them. Take them back. The man looked at the Imam, even though the Imam was the Khalifa at the time. This man didn't know the Imam. We didn't have TV and Facebook, and so the pictures are everywhere. So he didn't see the Imam. And the Imam was a humble person, no entourage, no soldiers, no bodyguards, nothing. He looked at the Imam and he insulted the Imam. The Imam, with a very nice, calm way, said to him, this is a da'if. Give back the money so she can go back to her house. It's a hot weather. He came to the Imam and he pushed the Imam. He pushed the Imam. He insulted the Imam. The Imam looked at him with the eyes of mercy. This woman started screaming, how dare you push Amir al-Mu'mineen? How dare you push Ali? Huh? Who? Ali? He was afraid for his life. Now Ali will be commanding his army to attack my house, my family, and annihilate all my tribe for what I done to him. You see that today. If the king or the prime minister or the president is insulted, we'll take every measure to make an example of you. But the Imam stood there and he said to him, don't worry, I forgive you. Just do one thing, give back her money. Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, I ask you forgiveness. Please, don't harm me. The Imam said, why would I harm you? I forgave you. Go. I forgive you. But next time, if someone comes to you, don't do the same to them, especially if they are weak, like this lady, like this servant girl. So you see, his nature was forgiveness. His approach was mercy. His way was gentle. If someone approaches you today, be like your Imam. The Imam said, don't eat while I'm eating. Don't change your diet for me or your lifestyle for me because I know you can't, but be pious like me. Follow my footsteps. What is the other one? As-salat. Salat. The Imam on his deathbed said, Allah, Allah fi salat. فإنها عمود دينكم. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi afdalu salatu wassalam says, امتحنوا. Another louder salawat. Allah.
Our sixth Imam says, امتحنوا شيعتنا عند مواقيت الصلاة كيف محافظتهم عليها. Test our Shia in prayer, how they observe it. الصلاة عمود الدين فإن قبلت قبل ما سواها وإن ردت رد ما سواها. Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib, the night that we are here commemorating his martyrdom, where was he killed? مولد الكعبة. And what? Shahidul Mihrab. What was he doing in the Mihrab? Praying. Allah, Allah fi salat, the Imam says on his deathbed. By God, observe salat. Fear God in your salat. Why is it? Why is it that when it's salat time, we have time for everything except for salat? Why? When he hears the adhan, he doesn't get up to go do wudu. He gets up to go do another job. Tell your life, make your life for salat the top priority. Your Imam was assassinated in the Mihrab. Your Imam in Siffin, the battle of Siffin, he was fighting. When he heard the mu'adhin saying the adhan, the Imam stopped in the middle of the battlefield. And he told his companions, go back to the camp. We are praying the prayer. The companions came to the Imam and they complained, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, what are we doing? You stopped the war for salat? The Imam looked at them and he said to them, what are we fighting for then? We are fighting for this salat. Imam Aba Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi afdalus salati was salam in Karbala. How many soldiers did he have? 1,000? 2,000? He has 72 companions and that was it. And he was surrounded by 40,000 combatant soldiers. The Imam himself says, I was surrounded like a ring around the finger. When Abu Maytham or Abu Thumama comes to him and says to him, Sayyidi or Mawlai, it's salat time. What does the Imam do? Stops everything. He says, now we observe salat. When? Yawm Ashura, the day of Ashura. Where? Karbala. And he lost half of his force for salah. Half of his force for salah. One of them was standing in front of the Imam because the companions, when they stood to pray, do you think Umar ibn Sa'd stopped the soldiers attacking? No, they attack. So what the companions that decided was to make a circle around the Imam, protecting the Imam from the arrows. They stood doing that. A circle around the Imam, protecting the Imam from the arrows. One of the companions of the Imam, he stood there and the arrows, they come to him, to his arm, to his chest. And then when the Imam finished his prayer, he fell on the ground, covered in arrows. And he looked at the Imam with his last breath. He said, Sayyidi, did I do what I'm supposed to do for you? Did I give back? And the Imam looked at him and he said, Jazakallah khair al-jaza. As-salat, the Imam says, leave everything on the side. Come and observe the salat. There is nothing in the world that can cover salat. Now I'm a volunteer in a mosque for orphans. The Rawaya says, in qubilat, qubila ma siwaha. Wa in ruddat, rudda ma siwaha. The first thing we ask you is salat. If that is accepted, then the others they follow. If that's not accepted, none of your ibadah, the rest of them, is accepted. Even if you are a volunteer in a center, even if you're doing good, you're sponsoring the orphan, the needy, you're doing everything in your power to do amal al-khair, but you forget salat, you don't observe salat, you're not doing what is the top priority of you to do, to observe, you're lost. You are misfortunate. It's like a person going to the exam and doing a good, perfect exam, and then he forgets to put his name on top. And he gives the paper to the dean or the teacher, whoever there is there, and then he just walks away, and they don't know who this is. It must be observed. Must be observed. As-salat, as-salat. The Prophet ﷺ says, لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَجْهٍ وَوَجْهُ دِينِكُمْ as-salat. For everything there is a face, and the face of your religion is salat. If you don't pray in the month of Ramadan, when are you going to start praying? Because you see people that are only religious in the month of Ramadan. The only time that he prays Salat al-Fajr is when he wakes up for suhoor. So he's awake, he has to pray Salat al-Fajr. But other month, as soon as it's the first day of Shawwal, that's it. Salah is out of the window. Are we waking up for suhoor? No. Then, if there is no suhoor, there's no Salah. So if a person doesn't start praying, observing Salah in the month of Ramadan, when is he going to start doing that? And that's why the Imam says, Allah, Allah fi salatikum fa innaha amudu dinikum. The Imam is laying on the bed, surrounded by his family, but he's saying this for me and you in the 21st century to hear that and observe that. And the Imam is in pain. They said that they put a headband on the head of the Imam that was yellow, but they couldn't tell if the headband is yellow or the Imam's forehead. That's how sick the Imam was. And the poison had spread throughout his body. But the Imam doesn't forget this. He says, Allah, Allah, fi salatikum. Even when the Imam was struck on the head, when Imam al-Hassan comes to him and Imam al-Hussein, he says to Imam al-Hassan, don't forget the salah. Pray and let them follow you. And the Imam said to him, put me in the corner of the mosque, I will pray as well. Did the Imam say, no, that's it, we are done, take me back to home and that's it, we are not practicing salah today? No, he said, pray and let them follow you. So when we hear the adhan, everything has to stop. When it's salah time, everything has to stop. You observe salah, you take care of salah, Allah takes care of you. You observe salah, you take it important and serious, your children follow. Pray salah jama'ah in your own house if you can't come to the mosque or the center. Your children will follow you. And Allah puts barakah in your life. I work 2 shifts, I work and there is nothing coming to my way. Why? You always hear that from the people. Why there is no ni'mah? Why there is no barakah? You pray? I haven't prayed for years. I don't even know how to pray now. You always have to look for the problem, to solve the problem, for the obstacles. Take them away from your life, and then you see how life becomes. If there is no barakah in your life, because you're not observing some things in your life. When you raise your hand for dua this night, the night of Qadr, and you say, Ya Allah, al-afwa al-afwa. How does Allah forgive a person who doesn't pray? Of course, Allah is merciful, but you have to observe it to be among those in the list that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives mercy to. So the Imam, during his lifetime, he observed salat. During his lifetime, he showed you and me. Because we call ourselves Shia. If you want to be a Shia, you have to be honest like your Imam. You have to be pious like your Imam. You have to observe prayer like your Imam. Then you can be called a Shia, worthy of the title. What's the other one? The Imam, alayhi afdalu salatu wassalam, says, Allah, Allah fil fuqara wal masakin. فأشركوهم في معايشكم. I say that one more time. Allah, Allah fil fuqara wal masakin. Fuqara wal masakin. Wal aitam. The orphans, the poor, the needy. There are thousands of poor children in our countries, in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Pakistan, in India, in Iran. Who is taking care of them? Who is sponsoring them? The Imam says, Allah, Allah fil aitam, Allah, Allah fil fuqara, Allah, Allah fil masakin. When the physician came to examine the Imam, and he told the Imam that poison has spread throughout your body, he said one thing can ease the pain, one thing, and that is milk. So the news spread throughout Kufa, and they saw these little kids, children. Every one of them comes and he has a bowl of milk. And they look, there is no parents, there is no adults, it's just only children. Where are your parents? Where are your adults? They all point to the house of Imam Ali. And they say, he's our father. We are all orphans. We are all aitam. But he took care of us. And now he needs us. So we bring the milk for him. Allah, Allah fil aitam. And Imam, the sixth Imam, the first one he said, if the hadith you remember, he said what? Observing of salat. And the other one is what? وَإِلَىٰ أَمْوَالِهِمْ كَيْفَ مَوَاسَاتِهِمْ لِإِخْوَانِهِمْ فِيهَا. When you know your neighbor sleeps hungry, you're not a true Muslim. And I say here neighbor, I'm not saying your Muslim neighbor. Even if your neighbor is a Christian, even if your neighbor is a Jew, even if your neighbor is a Buddhist, even if your neighbor is a Hindu, show him the real Islam, offer him some help, some food. Later on, you have your family members back home in your country, and you know they're starving. You know they don't have one course of meal to put in front of them to eat, one loaf of bread to eat. How do you call yourself a Shia? Responsibility follows when you say, I'm a Shia. You have to be a practicing Shia to be worthy of it. The Prophet ﷺ says, أَنَا وَكَافِلُ الْيَتِيمِ فِي الْجَنَّةِ كَهَاتَيْنِ وَأَشَارَ بِالسَّبَّابَةِ وَالْوُسْطَى. He said, me and the sponsor of the yatim, of the orphan, are in paradise like these two. We are jiran, we are neighbors. Here he's referring to who? Abu Talib, the sponsor of Rasulullah, and to the ones who sponsor the orphans. That young man, that young woman, that child, when they lose their parents in a car crash or car explosion, in the terror attack that happens in our country every now and then, what will happen to his future? What will happen to the food that he eats? Who is sponsoring him? Who is sponsoring her? That lies back to you. This is your responsibility. We are willing to spend money on everything that we desire. Everything. If my son wants a game that is $80, $100, $200, I'm willing to buy that. If he wants a shoes that are expensive, I'm willing to do that. If he wants a new device that comes out every 6 months, I have to buy that. But when you tell them there's orphans in Karbala, in Najaf, in Islamabad, in Hyderabad, back home, how much? 60, is it tax deductible? Are you going to give me a receipt? He's willing to spend money on everything, but he forgets the important part of religion. Sponsor them. Don't let them go astray. That child can be tomorrow one of the scholars of Ahlul Bayt, one of the scholars of this school, or he can also be a terrorist, can spread terror throughout the world.
Whose responsibility is this? It's our responsibility. That's what the Imam says. Allah, Allah fil aytam. Allah, Allah fil fuqara. Allah, Allah fil masakin. And the last one is obeying the Imam. So tonight we had 4. 1 is the taqwa. 2 is forgiving. 3, salat, observing of salat. 4, sadaqah, charity. These are the 4 that we discussed. The last one, the 5th one, is ita'at, wali al-amr, obeying the Imam. We stand and we say, Allahumma ajjal waliyyaka al-faraj. If Imam Mahdi comes, I'll be his first companion. If Imam Mahdi comes, I will do this and this. But if Imam Mahdi in reality comes and he appears, he's the first one to stand against Imam al-Mahdi. He's the first one to say that I am against you. Why? Because we are consumed by life. The Imam, our third Imam, Imam al-Hussein said, Inna nas abidu dunya wad-dinu la'aqun ala al-sinatihim yahutunahu ma darrat ma'ayishuhum فَإِذَا مُحِّصُوا بِالْبَلَاءِ قَلَّتْ دَيَانُونَ. What does that mean? Beautiful words. And of course, all the sayings of the Ahlul Bayt, they are beautiful. They are words of wisdom. What does the Imam say? أَنَّ النَّاسِ, people are abid, servants, slaves to this world. إِنَّ النَّاسِ عَبِيدُ الدُّنْيَا وَالدِّينُ لَعِقٌ عَلَىٰ أَلْسِنَتِهِمْ يَحُوطُونَهُ مَا دَرَّتْ مَعَايِشُهُمْ. If religion agrees with my lifestyle, fine, I'm happy with it. I agree to it. This is what it means. يَحُوطُونَهُ مَا دَرَّتْ مَعَايِشُهُمْ. As long as religion falls on the same page with my lifestyle, the one I choose, then religion is top notch. I love it. Perfect. But what the Imam says, فَإِذَا مُحِّصُوا بِالْبَلَاءِ قَلَّ الدَّيَانُونَ. If they are struck by a calamity, by a tragedy, you see the ones who are religious decrease in number. Test came, he can't do anything. He's not up for it. He never dealt with it. He thinks everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be comfortable. Everything has to be top notch. But as soon as there is a calamity, there is a tragedy, what does he say? Well, it looks like I'm not here anymore. I'm not part of this. Do we choose where to be and where not to be? And that is what it follows. Obeying the Imam every time. Obeying the Imam at any time, at any moment. Why do we have only 72 companions? Because the rest, the Imam spoke with them along the way to Karbala. The Imam said to many of them, come and help me, come be with me. One of them was the son of the second Khalifa, Abdullah bin Umar. The Imam said to him, come and help me. Come be with me, fight with me for this cause. You know why he said to the Imam, Sayyidi, let me come and kiss your chest. The Imam said, why? Because I saw the Prophet kissing your chest and I want to do the same. I love you, but I'm not there for you. The people of Kufa, what they said to the Imam, قُلُوبُهُمْ مَعَكْ وَسُيُوفُهُمْ عَلَيْكَ. The hearts are with you, they love you, but they're not with you with sword. They are against you, they fight you. And they are Shia. They are Shia. So what does the Imam says? The Imam says, فَإِذَا مُحِّصُوا بِالْبَلَاءِ قَلَّ الدَّيَّانُونَ. The Imam, Amir al-Mu'mineen wa Ya'sub al-Din, Imam al-Muttaqeen, Asadullah al-Ghalib says, فَصَبَرْتُ وَفِي الْعَيْنِ قَذَا وَفِي الْحَلْقِ شَجَا. When I was struck with many calamities, one after the other, tragedy, one after the other, did you see Ali slip away? He became stronger, more firm. He lost his wife, Fatimah Zahra, the first follower of Ali, the first Shia of Ali. But
But you see him standing firm, standing there. فَصَبَرْتُ وَفِي الْعَيْنِ قَذَى. I was patient with this. So we have to know, obey the Imam at every moment and every time. Sahl bin Hassan al-Khurasani, one of the companions of Imam al-Sadiq alayhi afdalus salatu wassalam, he comes to the Imam from Khurasan. And he says to the Imam al-Sadiq alayhi afdalus salatu wassalam, why don't you rise? Why don't you start a revolution? You know, you have a lot of companions back in Khurasan. They all will obey you, they will love you, they will be your companions, and they will fight for your cause. Ahl al-Bayt, they heard this before, many times they heard this, and they know the reality of people. 18,000 letters were written by the people of Kufa to Imam al-Hussein, 18,000 letters. Pledging their allegiance to Imam al-Hussein. How many of them were in Karbala? We are only words. Sometimes we are only words. We just like to say something, but when it's action time, everyone says, well, I have to drop my kids off at school. I have work tomorrow. I have an appointment. As long as we talk, we know how to talk. But when there is action, you see the numbers going down badly. From 1,000 to few people. So this one, Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Looks like every now and then we have to take a break for tea and for the kids to come back inside. He said to the Imam, there are companions back home in Khurasan, they are willing to fight for you, Ya Sayyidi wa Mawlai. If you want, they will come. The Imam, he heard him and he said to his servant, come. The servant came to the Imam, and the Imam ordered her to go and turn on the tannoor, the oven. He said, go and turn on the tannoor, the oven. And the Imam kept talking with him. When the tannoor was ready, the servant came to the Imam, and she said to the Imam, the oven is hot and it's ready. The Imam said to Sahl bin Hassan al-Khurasani that go sit in the tannoor. Go sit in the oven. Get up, and go sit in the oven. He looked at the Imam. Sayyidi, Mawlai, I have kids back home. I have business I have to attend to. I can't. Have some mercy on me. Why are you asking me to do this? And he, excuses one after the other. Why do you want to punish me? Why do you want to burn me? Atubu ilayk. The Imam sat there just listening to him. At that time, and he refused to go in the tannoor, in the oven. At that moment, one of the companions came into the house of the Imam, Harun al-Makki. He entered, listen brothers, few moments will be done. He entered the house, he greeted the Imam, Salaamu alaykum ya Sayyidi wa Mawlai, wa alaykum as-salam. After greeting, the Imam said to him, without any introduction, anything, go sit in the tannoor, go sit in the oven. He took his shoes off and he placed them under his armpit without saying why, what is the reason. He went, sat in the tannoor, and he closed the lid after him. And the Imam continued talking with Sahl. Continued. How is the weather in Khurasan? How is your children? How is Fulan? How is Fulan? This man was with him, his mind. The Imam is very comfortable. What's happening to that man in the oven? The Imam looked at him and he smiled. He says to him, looks like your mind is occupied with him, isn't it? He said, yes, Sayyidi O Mawlai. He said to him, go and tell him to come out. Really? He went there and he called him, Harun, come out, the Imam says. He pushed out the lid, and he saw him sitting in the tannoor and reciting Tasbih Fatimatu Zahra. And nothing has come to him, not burning. And he came out of the tannoor, wiping the dust off his clothes. Then Imam looked back at Sahl. He said to him, how many do we have like him? He said, Sayyidi, not even one. Not even one. We are there for the iftar. We are there for the food, for the comfort. But if there is something asked from us by our Imam, that it might be discomfort for us, inconvenient for us, I'm not there. On that note, brothers and sisters, it's an honor. It is a ni'mah, a blessing by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have such an imam, to follow his footsteps, to follow his instructions, his guidelines, to be worthy, to be called Shia to Ali. When you say you are Shia, practice that. Observe what he's asking of you. And the riwayah says, the hadith, when it's on your last time in this world, you breathe in your last breath, he's standing right there, looking at you with the face of mercy. And he says to the angel of death, be gentle on him, because he's one of my Shia, one of my followers, one of my people. Be gentle on him. How much of this do we practice? How much of it? What percentage? It's really hard that we only say we are there with everything that is good for us. But when there is a test, we all run away. And we are getting closer to the time, inshallah, the Imam Hujjatul Hassan Al Mahdi will reappear. But we have to really observe this. Look back at our life. How are we raising our young? How am I raising myself before them? Practice it first, then preach it. If you don't practice it yourself and you preach it to your children, they don't practice it because they say, he doesn't do it himself. Why is he telling me to do it? Do it yourself before you preach it to others. Tonight is a night that the Imam breathed his last breath. Tonight was very hard on Ahl al-Bayt alayhim afdalu salati wassalam. They were there present in the house of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib. His daughters, his sons, his grandsons, they were sitting alongside him. And they were crying for the Imam, weeping. But the Imam used to comfort them, tell them that this is the will. He tells them that this is the will of Allah, the Almighty. And this comes to all of you. Al-mawtu haq. And he will come to all of you. And he comforts every one of them. And then he started to say his will. Allah, Allah fil Quran. Allah, Allah fi bayt rabbikum. Allah, Allah fi salat. Allah, Allah fi sawm. Allah, Allah fi ahli bayt nabiyyikum. Practicing them, telling them of this, the will of the Imam, not only for his family members, but also for us. Observe Salat, read the Quran, go to Hajj, fast, pay the zakat, help the poor, help the orphan,
And then when the Imam was done with his well, he started to sweat. When he finished with his well, his forehead started to sweat. And then his daughter looked at him and she said, "Oh father, you're starting to sweat." So the Imam started to wipe out the sweat from his forehead. And he said to his daughter, "Oh daughter, I heard your grandfather, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, if the death of a believer has been prescribed on him and his passing is drawn near, his forehead will sweat and will become like a damp pearl, and his mourning will quieten down. That means that I'm about to go." Then he stood up and then she stood up and threw herself on her father's body, on his father's chest, and she started calling out, "Father, I heard the Ayman saying that one day this city, the city of Kufa, will host us as captives. We will enter this city, Usara. We will enter this city and our hands is shackled. We will enter this city as Usara. Is this true, Father?" The Imam looked at her and he said to her, "Oh daughter, the city will host you as a captive. Ayman, whatever she said to you is true, and that day will come." Then he looked at his son, Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. "Abu al-Fadl, come near me." Abu al-Fadl came. "Zainab, come closer to me." Zainab came. And then he said to Abu al-Fadl, "Give me your hand, Abu al-Fadl." Abu al-Fadl Abbas reached out and he gave his hand to his father Ali. And then he said, "Zainab, give me your hand." Zainab came and she reached out and she handed her hand to her father. Then he held Abu al-Fadl's hand and Zainab's hand and he placed them on each other and he said, "Abu al-Fadl, Abu al-Fadl, this is a trust from me to you, Amana, Abu al-Fadl. Take care of Zainab, Abu al-Fadl, of al-Masa'ib." And then he looked at Hassan and Hussein and he says, "After my death, calamities will come to you. Tragedies will come striking on you. Or Hassan, when they poison you, be patient. Or Hassan, when they poison you, be pious." And then he looked back at Hussein. "Ya Hussein, لا يومك يومك يا أبا عبد الله." There is no day like yours, O Hussein. A day will come in Karbala when you stand up to call out for someone to come to your assistance, but no one comes. ألا من ناصر ينصرنا ألا من معين يعيننا. But no one comes to help you. No one comes to assist you. And that is day of Karbala, the day of Ashura. Then he stopped for moments and he went unconscious. And then he regained conscious and he said to his family, "Now I'm surrounded by your grandfather Rasulullah." Listen to this, brothers. He says, "I'm surrounded by your grandfather Rasulullah, your uncle Hamza, your mother Fatima, the companions of your Prophet Rasulullah." And they say to us, "Al-Ajal, Al-Ajal, come to us, Ali." And then he said, "I bid farewell to you, my goodbyes to you. Astawdi'ukum Allah, fi aman Allah." Then he closed his eyes and he breathed his last breath. Raham Allah man nada wa aliya
Call out the name of Imam Ali, and tonight is the night of Qadr. If you have any requests from the Prophet, any requests from the Imams, any requests from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the name of Ali, call out, Ya Ali, Wa Ali, Ya. Don't be shy, Wa Ali, Ya. Wa Ali, Ya. Now I want to take you somewhere else. This is Kufa. The Imam is surrounded by his loved ones. The Imam is surrounded by his children. ولكن أسفي على الحسين. How was the Imam al-Hussein in Karbala? Who surrounded the Imam? Who was around the Imam in Karbala? He said they came from every side. The soldiers, one with the sword, strikes the Imam. The other one comes and he strikes the Imam with his spear. And the other one comes and he shoots the arrow at the Imam. فاحتوشوا من كل جانب جماعة بالسيف وجماعة بالسهام وجماعة بالحجارة وحسيناه وسيداه. Zainab comes to the tent of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. Abu al-Fadl is not there. She comes to the tent of Ali al-Akbar. Ali al-Akbar is not there. Then she enters the tent of Zain al-Abidin. Oh, son of my brother. Oh, yabna akhi. I haven't heard your father for moments and I'm afraid for him. He says to her, auntie, sit me up. Let me sit down. She helps him. And then he says to her, oh, auntie, can you lift aside of the tent for me? And then he starts to look out to the battlefield. And then he says, oh, Amma, استعدي للبلاء, استعدي للعاس. Oh, auntie, prepare yourself to be taken captive. Prepare yourself for the tragedy. Oh, son of my brother, what is going on? I can see the head of my father. على رمح طويل. I can see the head of my father Hussein on the long spear. What do we do, Zain al-Abidin? He said to her, oh, عم فروا في البيداء فهذا رأس أبي الحسين. What do we do? Run in the battlefield, run in the plains of Karbala. And so they did. They ran from tent to tent. فبررن بنات الرسالة من خيمة إلى خيمة ومن خباء إلى خباء وهن يصحن وعليا وحسناه وحسيناه. There is a little girl, she's running and her clothes is set on fire. Hamid ibn Muslim says, I saw this girl running and afraid for her life, a 3-year-old girl. So I came after her. She was afraid that I'm there to harm her. So she ran and she fell on her face unconscious. I came down from my horse. I went to her. I turned off the fire. She regained conscious and she saw some mercy for me. And then she looked at me and she cried, what is it you want, oh little girl? She says, oh Sheikh, I am very thirsty. Oh Sheikh, I am thirsty. Give me a drop of water. He says, I took her to the Furat. I gave her some water, but she doesn't drink from the water. She looks back at the Furat, at the river, and then she looks back at the battlefield, and then she back to the Furat. She looks, and then I says to her, didn't you say that you are thirsty? Why don't you drink? She says, oh Sheikh, I heard my father Hussein calling out, العطش العطش.
بحق جدي رسول الله أنا عطشان، بحق جدي رسول الله أنا ضمان. Give me a cup of water. Where is my father Hussein so I can take him the water. أنا أشرب لذيذ الماء حاشا حاشا، وأهلي قضوا كلهم عطاشة، وأهلي قضوا كلهم عطاشة.
Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Live like